Donald Trump announced the introduction of strict tariffs against China amounting to an additional 100%. This has become a new wave of the trade war between the United States and China, but many missed China's hostile move. Because a day before Donald Trump's announcement, China unexpectedly increased restrictions on the export of rare earth metals and began sending threatening letters to governments around the world. Basically, if you support the United States, you won't get Chinese rare earth metals. China's behavior prompted United States President Donald Trump to threaten economic retaliation and announce that he was canceling his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping during his upcoming visit to Asia. The struggle over rare earth metals began even before the current Trump administration came to power. For many years, China has established almost complete control over these minerals as part of its broader industrial policy. But has China really taken the whole world hostage with its rare earth metals? And is there really no way out? Let's figure this out together in this episode. My name is Escalates. Before we start digging deep into this topic, just a reminder, this YouTube channel posts multiple news and analysis segments daily, so that you stay up to date with absolutely everything. That's why I recommend you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't lose it. Please like and leave a comment under this episode. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so with any donation using the links and details in the description of this video. It says there, support Alexis Pecci's channel. Use any format you prefer. I appreciate any support you can give. So Donald Trump announces new tariffs against China at a rate of 100%. Before that, China takes an even more aggressive step and effectively bans the sale of critically important rare earth metals to the United States. And these two events became the beginning of a new phase in the trade war. But let's start here, as they say, from the very basics. What are rare earth elements? And are they really rare? They say rare earth, but why are they called rare? And why have they become a tool in this trade war? Rare earth elements include 17 metallic elements of the periodic table, which are scandium, yttrium, and the lanthanides. The name rare earth elements is somewhat inaccurate because these metals are found throughout the Earth's crust. The elements themselves can be found in many parts of the world, basically all over planet Earth. They are everywhere. Officially, there are more of them in our Earth than gold, for example, but their extraction and processing are complex and expensive, and they also harm the environment. That's why few have gotten involved except China. Still, these are important elements. Rare earth elements are widely used in everyday technologies, from smartphones and wind turbines to LED lights and flat-screen TVs. They play a key role in electric vehicle batteries, magnetic resonance imaging scanners, and cancer treatment methods. In short, rare earth metals are everywhere, but in today's reality, it's important to note that rare earth elements are crucial for the United States military. According to a 2025 research note from the Canadian Intelligence and Security Service, rare earth elements are used in F-35 fighter jets, submarines, lasers, satellites, Tomahawk missiles, and much more. But what's the problem? Where do these rare earth elements come from? According to the International Energy Agency, 61% of mined rare earth metals come from China. There's still 39%, so why not switch to them? China isn't the only country mining them. Those who were paying attention heard that the problem isn't with mining, but with processing. So it's China that currently controls 92% of the world's processing. 92% of rare earth metal production at the processing stage. I'll try to explain it even more simply. There are two types of rare earth elements classified by atomic weight: heavy and light. Heavy rare earth elements are less common, and the United States does not have the capability to separate them after extraction from the ground. However, the United States does mine heavy rare earth elements itself, for example in California. So Americans do mine these elements themselves. But the thing is, after extraction, absolutely all of these elements from California are sent by the United States to China for processing. Because only there do they have the necessary facilities. Yes, at some point the capitalists decided that all this harmful production should be in China. However, the Trump administration's announcement of steep tariffs on China in April disrupted this process. China demonstrated its willingness to turn America's dependence on China into a weapon in the field of rare earth metals. Here, the situation became even more critical. It turned out that the deposit we mentioned in California is the only rare earth metals deposit in the United States. China understands that this is its main tool to put pressure on Donald Trump, and it readily uses it. Beijing uses rare earth metals as the basis of China, its main leverage in the trade war. And its latest restrictions were introduced just at the moment when Xi Jinping and Trump were supposed to meet at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea at the end of this month. And just recently, China added 5 more rare earth elements to its existing control list: holmium, erbium, thulium, europium, and terbium, as well as related magnets and materials that require export licenses. Thus, the total number of restricted rare earth elements increases, and China will also require licenses for the export of rare earth production technologies outside the country. Export controls, as you can imagine, can have serious consequences since the United States is highly dependent on rare earth metal supplies from China. According to a report by the United States Geological Survey, from 2020 to 2023, 70% of rare earth compounds and metals imported into the United States of America inside their crimes. No. Rodeo goods for a reason. Synchronized Cartelori Cicero pending changes. To some extent, the West itself is to blame. At some point, the capitalists decided all processing should be in China. We don't need it. They extracted it themselves, gave it away, let this harmful production happen over there, and just give us the element that was obtained during the production process. But now, as we can see, the West is easing the consequences, but in principle, this is a catalyst to switch to our own processing. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments under this episode. Let us know how you feel about this situation. The West elevated China to this level, and now it's paying the price.